This is going to be a bit different from my usual videos because we need to talk about the elephant in the room. And of course, I'm talking about Ye Shangwang, the new physical Void Hunter, and how it's going to affect the previous upcoming patch of version 2.4, which gives two brand new agents, Dialin and Banyue, and the announced rerun agents being Hugo in the first phase and Alan in the second phase. If you're new here, you may be asking yourself who to pull for. There's a decent amount of attacker options for you to choose from, or if you're an experienced player, you may be asking yourself if Dialin is worth it or not. Is our W100 worth to pull for? Let's just calm down and we'll answer everything piece by piece. So, Dialin is the first agent in the upcoming first phase of the update, and she will have by far the longest amount of running time in her banner, being 21 days, which is about 3 weeks, which starts from November 26th and ends all the way to December 17th, which is a lot of time for you to obtain her. Her kit revolves around her chain attack. It's a special move that's exclusive to her, and that is that Dialin can convert her chain attack into an ultimate for your next agent of your choosing, but at the cost of customer complaint and 60 positive review. Alternatively, you can use 90 positive review and still get out the ultimate for your squad mate to use. She can give your team a 40% damage boost via overwhelmingly positive effect and gives 2 seconds stun window extension and 30% stun damage multiplier on top of that. But if you want a detailed explanation guide, you can check out the video on the top right corner of the screen. So in summary, Dialin gives more ultimates for your team to use. At the very least, you can have at least 2 ultimates per stun window, assuming you have 3000 decimals ready, and more with characters like Yishuan who already have 2 ultimates, so you can safely guess that players will go absolute bonkers with insane combos and tech to use. That will make 100% use of Dialin and its team. And she's incredibly flexible, I mean incredibly flexible. She can be used with almost all of the attackers and rupture agents. This is why if you already have attackers and rupture teams built, then the best play to be pulling for is Dialin, which should be at number 1 priority as she provides substantial amounts of buffs that can't be overlooked. Now let's talk about Banyue. Banyue is a fire rupture sheer DPS agent that has a high skill ceiling to use, but it rewards this high skill ceiling gameplay with faster skill usage and high damage in short amount of time. If you time it perfectly, he uses a rage and wrath system, which is a balance of using EX specials and basic attacks to build up massive amounts of damage, and he can also use diamond body, which is like a defense thing. When he's about to get hit by an enemy, he will turn into a rock or diamond, I don't know. If he gets hit while in diamond body state, he will completely block the attack and consumes a bit of adrenaline and gives a large chunk of days. And his main source of dealing damage is using adrenaline and spamming EX specials, and at which at the end performs a mountain splitter move which crushes everything caught between it. This is good and all, but the main problem is that the Lion does not concern himself with the Void Hunter next patch. Yes, the main problem is that right after Banyue, our new Void Hunter agent is going to be introduced in the next update, which is Ye Shangwang. I have already talked about in my previous videos. However, the problem is that the male agents overall in this game have it rough because they got introduced right after the Void Hunter. For example, Lider got introduced in version 1.4, I think, and with Lider and Yanagi in version 1.4. However, we got Miyabi for the entire patch in the next update, and we got Harumasa as a free agent. My point is that going for the line is not a good idea because you'll spend all of your hard-earned points as free to play on Banyue, even though we got a free A rank rupture agent which is Manato. So going for Banyue doesn't make any sense because they both are fire rupture sheer DPS agents and Manato is really good. Yeah, I can understand that he is an S rank limited agent and is going to be better than Manato in every case and scenario. But the point I'm trying to make is that you should be saving your pulls for either Dialin, or if you don't have an attacker, you can go for an attacker, but I wouldn't recommend it. Let's see why. The first agent that is going to be rerunning is Hugo. The problem with Hugo is that he requires double stun agents, but he isn't that good of an agent himself. He requires 100% crit because his only ability of his kit is the totalized effect, which uses an EX special or ultimate to trigger that consumes the entire stun bar and converts it into damage in a single strike. The problem with Hugo is that if you miss your single strike, due to lack of crit rate, you will basically lose out on basically all of your damage if you didn't crit your totalized effect. Yes, his entire kit is based on a single strike, so if you miss his strike, it basically ruins your entire run. And the thing about Dialin is that she is still not good enough for clearing content like Deadly Assault or Sheer Defense because the enemies are getting designed with Rupture agents in mind, and all attackers are having a really tough time with clearing content. Yes, you can still earn enough so that you can still earn polygons from Deadly Assault, but I'm not so sure about Sheer Defense because the main problem with this update is that the shilling is gone through the roof, and agents like Miyabi, who is a Frost DPS Void Hunter and is related to Ice, is actually having a tough time clearing content, which is not good for Ice agents as a whole. So what I'm trying to say is that if Miyabi is having trouble clearing content, then other Ice agents don't even stand a chance. My recommendation is that you should go for Dialin. If for some reason you don't want to go for Dialin, or are you waiting for Ye Shangwang's kit details release, or if you're completely saving and skipping this patch and going straight for the Void Hunter in the next patch, that's completely fine because you are most likely going to get the Void Hunter and Zhao, which is an Ice defense agent as well, which is being given out for free. This isn't 100% confirmed, but most likely that seems to be the case. Overall, I highly do not recommend getting Banyue because the amount of worth in your account you'll be getting just from getting Dialin alone is enormous compared to Banyue. We already got Yitari in version 2.3, who is an Ice Rupture agent, and we will also get the Krampus small bunny girl as well. So it doesn't make any sense to go for Banyue. Plus, we already have Monitor to cover the fire side of the Rupture meta, and going for Ice attackers is also not the right move in my opinion, because Ye Shangwang completely denies their entire role, and because how broken she's going to be in the next patch, and the animation leak confirms this as well, I can 100% assure you that going for Dialin because her team flexibility allows her to be paired up with almost all of the DPS agents in the game, I think. Even if you don't have any S-rank limited agents, going for Ye Shangwang is still the better option out of everything. So, you know what to say, patience is always rewarded. But this is your account. Whatever you do is none of my business, and that's fine by me. Because at the end of the day, you should enjoy the game and always prioritize fun over meta. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.